In the first part of this tutorial, you took an existing racing game level 1 and you converted it to be a separate level 2 for that racing game. So there was changes to the terrain and there was changes to the path that the enemy AI would take around that track. We also added in a coin to prevent cheating where the player could just turn around and cross the finishing line from the wrong direction. So we have our new circuit. We've kept the start and end zones the same. However, we saw in my example that it was possible to cheat by going cross country, and we're going to fix that just by using some terrain and features on the land that prevent the cycle from cheating. So I could, for example, use the spiky hills, and I could make a very rocky outcroppings here that would then stop me just driving across there. So that might be a good guess. The other thing that we could do is to go to the object tool, and we might put in maybe some rocks. So I could put in a rock. I would obviously have to increase its size, and that might be a little bit of a tedious kind of process to do lots and lots of rocks. They will actually take up a lot of RAM as well. A better alternative might be to try and use some tree objects. I seem to be having some problems with my selection here. Okay, so I could stick some trees. And that might discourage people from trying to drive through that particular area. So they would have to negotiate and avoid trees in order to do that. Okay, so I have fixed my level. I should always remember to save that. But before I do, there's a few other things that I might like to have a look at. So we've already had a look at how to change the sky, and we've experimented with roughening hills and so on. What we haven't done is to change how the game starts off. So I'm going to go into world settings, and if I scroll down, so we get to this start game with, and at the moment it says start with nothing. I can change that to a description with a countdown, and then whatever we saved in the description for our file will appear, and then it will give us a 3, 2, 1 countdown before the game actually starts. So that's a good way to start each level. Okay, so I'm now going to save my world. All of that's fine, so I'm going to click on save, and I'm going to overwrite the existing file. So now we need to link level 1 and level 2 together. And the way we do this is to go back to load my world, go to level 1 and choose to edit that. Now in level 1, we can see that in the world settings, I have set this to description with countdown. But the other thing that we have in here is next level, and there's no level selected. Now we could choose a level from here, but there is an easier way to do this. If I go into my player character, so object mode, right click and program, when I'm on the end zone, instead of choosing to win, what I'm going to do is to delete that win condition, and I'm going to replace it within game by going to next level. And you can see it pops up and says that there is no level selected for the next level. So I can click on this dialog, and then it will come up and show me all of my Kodu files that I've got available. and one of those should be Racer Level 2. Now, if I just click on that, I can choose to attach, or I can double click to achieve the same thing. So Next Level now has the Level 2 Racer game as where it will go when I get to the end zone. It's very important at this stage that you then save your world with that update. And it would be a good idea to inform the player. So if we say to them, get to the finish zone to load next level. Okay, so I'm going to save that. I'm going to overwrite the existing file. Very important you don't change the names of these things if you are going to link levels together. And now, if I start the game off, I can see my description appearing. When I press enter, it gives me a countdown. And then the enemy has set off round the track. This is level 1, so I can still cheat here just by turning round and driving onto that level. And as you can see, it has loaded level 2. I have the description that I was given for that game. And if I press enter, we then have a countdown to the game starting. And for some reason, the rock is rolling. And I can cheat by sneaking through here, collecting the coin, if I can hit that. And come out of mist again. No, I've got it this time. And then I can head home. I have to take the long way around here now because my cheat of going cross country is no longer available to me. And I might just get pipped to the post now by the extra player. Okay, so the same process would have to happen for each of your different levels. You make a new level, you save it with a different name, and then you go to the previous level and you set, instead of a win condition, you set a next level condition. So if I go and have a look at my player here, programming is set up to be on the end zone with a coin is win, and I could change that to be on the end zone with a coin would then go to a next level, and I would have to choose a level 3 to go in there. So your mission now is to create a multi-level player game, a multi-level racing game in which it gets progressively harder as you go on. How can you make it progressively harder? You can involve things like power-ups. I noticed that rock rolling into the roads certainly caused me some problems there. One of the things I could do is I could create a little path that just goes from here to here, and I could change the color of that maybe to red. And then I can put, and remember escape to come out of path lane. I could put a bot on here, and I could make it something fairly harmless, like a turtle. And then I could just say to that turtle, when always do move on the red path. And now in my game I have an obstruction. I have turtles crossing the road, and you can see that when he gets to one side of the road he then goes back and crosses again. So if I want to not destroy the turtles, then I should avoid crashing into them. So these are the kind of things we can put objects in, or we can put things to do with the type of land. I can go here and I could put maybe a kind of oily patch that makes it difficult to drive. So I'd be looking for something, actually maybe something icy or something like that. So I'm just going to say that, okay, that there'll do. So I'm going to take a round brush and I'm going to put a patch on the road there. And then I'm going to come to my Kodu and I'm going to say extra commands when on land of type 83. Always a good idea to remember the number that goes with a particular land you've been using. I'm going to say do, and I'm going to go to actions, and sorry, not actions, but settings. And I'm going to go to settings, and my movement speed is going to go down to half speed there. So if I hit that patch, then I'm going to go at half speed. So I set off, I hopefully avoid the turtles, but all of a sudden I hit this patch here, and you can see I'm going really slowly now. And no way I'm going to catch that enemy now. So maybe we'd have to have some power-ups that would let me get my speed back to usual. So these are the kind of things you can put in your own game. Be creative, make a playable and interesting game, and enjoy yourself and give your teacher something that is also enjoyable to play.